So, I said I'd discuss the Pharaoh of the Exodus. There are two pharaohs mentioned in the book of Exodus. The first one is who we believe is Ramses the Great. He orders the Israelites to build two cities, Pithom and Ramses. It's basically his name. And as I said before, there is a city, an ancient ruin. I visited it when I went to Egypt, called called Ramesseum. It is quite far south of Egypt, so it might not be the right one. That he may have. There may be another city called Ramesses somewhere further north, where the Israelites were more likely to be situated. But they had been oppressed for 430 years, the Bible says. So they were probably spread out all over Egypt on these construction projects. Anyway, I'm going to go over it now. Ramses had many sons, and he outlived a lot of them, and it was his 13th son, Merenptah, who was his successor to the throne. Because Ramses, he lived into his 90s. He had a 66-year reign. He was Pharaoh of Egypt for an extremely long time, and he outlived a lot of his sons. Merenptah is then the successor, and Egyptologists believe, they're 90% sure it was Merenptah who then chased the Israelites out of Egypt, not Ramesses. And although this is the case in the movies, the Ten Commandments and the newer one, the new Exodus movie, it's Ramesses there the whole time. It's not in the Bible. It isn't. So it's not very accurate. Because this Pharaoh, the Pharaoh who orders them to build the city of Ramesses, thereby being much more likely to be Ramesses. If he's ordering them to build a city called Ramesses, then it's likely to be him. He dies, and then the Exodus takes place with another Pharaoh, this is Merenptah, and he loses his firstborn son, and at first I don't know where I got this from, but I was under the impression that Merenptah didn't have any sons, but he did. And I was put off track for a bit with this false information that Merenptah didn't have any sons, and I was scratching my head trying to figure out how he could have been the Pharaoh of the Exodus without any sons, because he loses his firstborn son during the plagues of Egypt. But it turns out he did, so that's better. It all fits into place now, and there's even a stone relief. It's the only mention of the Israelites in ancient Egypt, and it's one of Merenptah's, claiming that he has destroyed the Israelites, which we all know wasn't the case. They fled Egypt, and the Pharaoh eventually let them leave. But he does have a change of heart, the Bible says, and he then pursues them. And then we have the biblical story of the parting of the seas and so on. And yeah, the Pharaoh's men all drown in the Red Sea. Yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd include that. It's a revelation I had just before leaving, which was convenient because then I could bring it up to my tour guide, and he wouldn't have mentioned it unless I had said something. And I got to go in Merenptah's tomb in the Valley of the Kings. Yeah, really big sarcophagus. It was a good tomb. I've seen better. My favourite tomb, although it's the smallest, has to be Tutankhamun's tomb. There's something magical about that tomb. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's had some bad reviews. People think, oh, it's only a little thing. But there was more to it than that. When you go inside and you see the big golden sarcophagus in there, and you know the mummy next to it, this tiny little fragile boy mummy, you know, it's special. It's very special. That's definitely my favourite too. Yeah, and in my opinion, it'll always be the greatest. Tutankhamun. Nothing will surpass that archaeological discovery. Yeah, and he deserves the fame. Okay, because he was only young. He was only a teenager when he died, and he had been through hell. When you see what the guy had been through, he had a blow to the head. He had an ingrowing tooth that would have been excruciating. Had to suffer the deformities of incest. You know, he's got the strange head like his father, Akhenaten, and he also had a club foot. You know, he hobbled along. He had to use a walking stick. This guy had been through hell, and yeah, it's good that he gets all the fame. Yeah, I think he would have been a really good, powerful pharaoh. There were many statues of him erected, even in both Luxor and Karnak temples. You can find statues of him and his wife, and he was only young. He was only a teenager. So yeah, I mean, it's a shame. That he died so early, but that was definitely my favourite too. Anyway, I'm digressing now, and I'm going to leave it there, okay? But it's just a heads up to let you all know I'm writing another book. It's about ancient Egypt and the origins of Christianity. So yeah, check it out. It will be coming out, I'm hoping, the end of this year. It's not going to be as long as the Jericho book. Jericho book was a bit too long, but yeah, we'll see. Depends how much I find, because I have found a lot, and I like to be thorough. So yeah, keep an eye out for future posts on Facebook and my blog page, because I'll be doing another blog on the Pharaoh being baptised, because that is extremely relevant. Yeah. Okay, that's it then. Thanks for watching. And yeah, please visit the website adamsministry.uk. Thank you.